2 goals for Jason Dickinson, 2 assists for Connor Bedard, but it's not enough. The Hawks lose 3-2 to the Anaheim Ducks. We'll wrap it up next on the CHGO Blackhawks postgame show. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks postgame podcast. I'm Jay Zawoski with Greg Boyson. Mario Tirabassi is at the United Center and will join us after Luke Richardson speaks and the locker room closes. Hawks lose 3-2 to the Ducks. And boy, oh boy, are we talking about a rinse and repeat performance from the Blackhawks. After 20 minutes, things looked really, really good. And then the next 10 were okay, and then the last 30 were all Anaheim, start to finish.
We can cut this show off now. Tell Mario he doesn't need to call in and play one of any of the 14 previous postgame. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
It's infuriating. There was one point in the third where I said, or there's a sequence going on. I said to you, okay, now they're going to cycle it. Now they're going to look, and then they're going to ring it around the boards, and the Ducks are going to take the puck and go the other way. It happened again and again and again. And what is so damn frustrating is the fact that you can play 20 minutes as solidly as they did and control the play, connecting on passes, looking sharp, looking structured, and then all of a sudden, Anaheim scores late in the first. Fine, right? And the game just shifts, and it's 2 totally different teams. How does this happen? How does it happen at home? How does it happen against a team like Anaheim, who, props to them, beat Dallas last night, but played in Dallas last night? And they come here and take over the second half of the game? How does this happen? I don't understand. Passes off the mark, extra passes, refusals to shoot. Like, look, if Connor Bedard doesn't score, it seems like this team's not doing anything. He's got 2 assists. Jason Dickinson has 2 goals. No one else does a damn thing. And for whatever reason, it feels like at the end of the show today, we're going to be hearing about how Bedard didn't do enough and whatever. They need the other forwards to contribute here. It can't all fall on 98. It can't. It's not fair to him.
No, I agree. For as much hand-wringing as there was over the lines, Bedard and Dickinson obviously working together.
Yep.
Say what you want about Joey Anderson. I didn't like him on that line, but dude had 4 shots on goal, 6 shot attempts.
That line worked for me.
Just at this point, and there were moments where all the other lines kind of had their effective moments. The Reichel-Bertuzzi line was pretty good. You know, the Mikheyev-Hall line had some moments. The Foligno-Kurashev line was not good.
And Tavo.
Yeah.
That line got hem deep over and over and over.
Well, there's got to be one. It wasn't the Bedard line.
But how is it those 3 that are your worst defensive line tonight? By the way, you mentioned, I know I'm irritated, so I'm jumping all over the place. I'm sorry. I'll settle down. Reichel, Smith, and Bertuzzi showing some chemistry. Reichel played 9:15. Smith played 8:51. Bertuzzi played 10:50. The 3 lowest ice times of all forward lines. They were, aside from Bedard and Dickinson, the best line in the first period.
Here's the Corsies for the night in order of best to worst. Best line was actually the Taylor Hall, Ryan Donato, Ilya Mikheyev line. 57.8%, 5-on-5. 11 shot attempts for, 8 against.
Okay.
Then you had the Bedard line at 56.2, 9 shot attempts to 7 against. Then it was the Reichel line, 40%, 8 for, 12 against. So it got worse as a. Then you have the Foligno, Teravainen, and Kurashev line, 10% Corsi, 1 shot attempt for, 9 against at 5-on-5. I can't wait to hear Nick Foligno tell me tonight about how we know what we got to do. We got to do a better job. I'm tired of hearing about it.
Do it. Stop talking about it.
You got your ass handed to you, Captain. Here's your ass.
Here it is. Your dupa.
The captain.
I don't know how you say ass in Italian. Foligno is Italian, right?
Sure. He's Canadian.
Yeah, say Foligno. Yeah, Italian. That's how you test it out.
He's Canadian. There's your captain. There's your ghost of a player in Philip Kurashev. And there's your big free agent acquisition who has been super disappointing after that first road trip. And those are your guys that you're depending on. Veteran guys with some offense, guys with track records. And they're just not doing good enough. This is an execution thing. This is a go out there and want it thing. And too many of these guys on this team are passengers right now. Too many of these guys on this team are being exactly what they said they couldn't have at those exit interviews. Those extra interviews in April.
That's a great point.
We have too many guys on 1-year contracts. Just looking for – it's the guys that got term who suck the most.
Yep.
Craig Smith's on a 1-year contract. I don't worry about him night in, night out.
Not
Is
really.
he the most talented player on this team? Far from it.
He's always trying.
Is he the guy that gives you an effort every shift? Absolutely. Ryan Donato, 1 year left on his deal. Yep. Lucas Reichel, 1 year left on his deal.
Yep.
Or 2 years. But it's the guys with term.
Yeah.
That just it's the same thing. And Bedard, 2 great assists tonight. Hopefully that gets him rolling.
He looked good. Bedard looked good tonight. I still want more shots, but
well, you could tell, and we'll get into this, I'm sure, but you could tell early he was like he could feel the pressure off of him because like at least once in those first 3 shifts, he was already cheating into center ice as he saw Dickinson and Anderson get to the boards because he knew they were going to win a board battle. He's like, okay, I could cheat for offense. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Patrick Kane's going to get in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot for cherry picking in the neutral zone while the other guys did all the work.
100%.
No
and
problem
that's fine.
with that.
You'll take that.
Absolutely.
But now you got to find the guys that are going to do the dirty work and put the puck in the net. All right. Do us a favor. Lots of people watching. We really appreciate that. We have over 250 people liking, 290 people watching. Is that right? 260 watching and only 39 likes. Come on now. Hit that like button.
We're not
for
the
us.
one not giving in the effort. We give the effort every night.
Yeah, hit that like button for us, please. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube page as well. And if you're listening on the podcast, we appreciate you. Make sure you are following and subscribed on your favorite podcast app. Before we continue the show, because the conversation is going to be fire Luke, fire Luke, fire Luke. And I'm going to say this. Fine. I have no problem with it. At some point, things have to change. I would just set your expectations. Luke's in the last year of his contract. He has an option, a team option next year. So if the Hawks decide Luke Richardson's not their coach, he will not be back next year. A lot of people saying Jim Montgomery's available. Fired by Boston.
He is available. He's not taking this job.
He's not going to come here right now.
He's going to sit and wait till the next contender fires their coach, so then he can go take. Doesn't want to come here.
No,
he's not going to come here.
There's no point.
If there was some, I mean, sure, make that phone call tomorrow. You get the confirmation that he doesn't want to.
Yes, you have to make the call.
And if for some reason he says, you know what, I do want to take that job, and they make that call tomorrow, I won't be mad.
I got no problem with it.
I won't be mad. But he's not going to want to come here. He's either going to wait for that Nashville job to open up so he can go coach a team that has expectations and legit playoff hopes, or he'll wait till next season when John Cooper decides he doesn't want to coach anymore.
Right. And
John Cooper, as the new president in Tampa, will hire Jim Montgomery to be the next coach. He's not going to want to come here. So somebody in the chat earlier, and I agree with it, that should be the next swear jar. Is anytime someone says hire Jim Montgomery, you owe $1.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
It's not going to happen. I'd be all for it.
Yeah,
I would. I think Jim Montgomery is a really good coach. I think he got the shaft in Boston. His players are doing a lot of the same things that we're seeing here, except they're more talented. They're got expectations, Stanley Cup aspirations.
What do you say, a guy with 40 losses?
40 losses in 3 years got fired because it's not good enough in Boston.
Hey, you know what?
So that's good.
But again, you can't fire the players.
Right. So Jim Montgomery takes the rap because the front office went out and paid a ton of money for Lindholm, who sucks there, and paid a ton of money for Zadorov, who sucks there, but the coach is going to get fired.
Right.
And here you bring in Bertuzzi and Teravainen, and they've been not great, and it's going to be the coach that pays the price.
Yes.
But here's the thing that we got to remember. That, yes, nights like this are frustrating. We're going to have 60 some odd more of them. Can't wait. Look what the Rockford IceHogs did tonight. There's where you need to be.
Yeah.
Frank Nazar, 2 more goals. Colton Dock, 2 goals. Landon Slager, 2 assists. Kevin Korchinski, 2 assists.
Call them all up.
Those are all the guys I said should be here. Frank Nazar is daring the Blackhawks to keep him in Rockford.
There's no reason to. I was listening to Laz and Powers today on my drive in, and Scott said by Christmas.
By Thanksgiving.
Dude, there's no reason to wait anymore.
By Thursday.
There's no reason to wait anymore.
He's got 15 points in 12 games.
There's no reason to wait.
Power play, shorthanded, 5-on-5. He's scoring in every phase of the game.
And I know Nick Foligno talked about it the other day. By Thanksgiving, you know what you are. Nick said we got to win these next 4 games, and you lose to the effing Ducks at home.
In those
This
awful
is
uniforms.
the team you are. This is what you are.
Yeah.
So you know what? I don't need to see. And again, props to Joey Anderson. Props to Craig Smith. They're playing hard. I don't need to see him anymore. Trade him. Move him. Send Joey Anderson down. Get some young players. I don't even care if it's Joey Anderson, Kurashev, whoever it might be. Fine. Get somebody up here with a future in this organization now, because this season's lost. There's no 10-game winning streak coming here for this team.
No.
Absolutely not. They can't put the puck in the net. Nor McIver, where the goal is going to come from. If Connor Bedard isn't going on doing a multi-point game per night, they have no chance in any game. That's not fair to him. Bring someone up here who can play with him. Bring Frank Nazar up and put him on a line with Bedard and just say, we got one line that can score. I'm done waiting. It is November 19th, and we are done. We talked about maybe they're in the playoff hunt until New Year's Day. Maybe if things go really well, it's Valentine's Day. And then, towards the end, they start to fade. It's over. They're in last place. They've got 13 points. This is what they are. You can't beat the Ducks at home when you've got a 2-1 lead. This is the worst team in hockey. The numbers say it. The eye test says it.
Yeah.
By the way, the last game they played Anaheim, they beat them 4-2. They gave up 40 shots to the Ducks. 40. Tonight, looking period to period. First period, Hawks outshoot the Ducks 10-7. Second period, Hawks are outshot 11-5. Third period, Hawks are outshot 6-5. But they got 3 or 4 shots in those last with the net empty, like in that last sequence, and a couple swats up close. They had 3 shots on goal for the vast majority of the third period, down a goal. This is what it is. I see no reason, and let's just talk about Nazar alone. There's no reason to keep Frank Nazar off this roster anymore.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
I have been all about patience and take your time in developing. He has been amazing down there, and he's scoring on a nightly basis at the pro level. Sure, it's going to be different up here than down in Rockford, but you have no offense on this team right now outside of the 98 line, and that's not even a sure thing every night. This was Bedard's first point in 4 games. Bring up Nazar. Bring up Nazar and put Nazar on the other wing. Dickinson, Bedard, Nazar.
Sure.
That'd be a lot of fun.
I'm down with that.
Whatever. I don't care where he plays. Just get him on the lineup. Sure, Joey Anderson was fine. Nice game. I don't expect him to be your first-line winger every night. He better not be. Get some talent up here.
Yeah, it's time.
Bring up Nazar. Bring up Slaggert. Bring up Doc.
Yep.
And say,
bring on Atlanta. Bring on Dallas.
Pat Maroon, thank you.
Super Bowl.
This isn't working. See you later. Sorry, Philip Kurashev. You're going to have to sit and watch players that actually deserve to be here right now. Sorry, Tyler Bertuzzi. You're going to have to sit and watch a few games.
I don't know about Bertuzzi's game tonight, but that's a different story. Do me a favor, Nate, and save Rooney's comment right there, right at the top of the screen. We got to hit the break zone. Do us a favor, smash that like button for us. Still under 100 likes. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Hit that like button. I know you're frustrated with the Hawks, but yeah, don't take it out on us. We need
don't be mad
those
at us.
likes and those subs. So do it. We'll be back with more in a moment on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast. But whether it's pro or college, the app to bet football is Circa Sports Illinois. Circa Sports, it's sports betting the way it should be. Circa Sports Illinois has high betting limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. Bet on all your favorite teams in every game this season. Spreads, props, futures, or in-game, Circa Sports has it. Fund and bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, Mr. Zawoski, did you know that ComEd can help businesses save money by becoming more energy efficient?
I heard that, but then I was hit by an errant puck in the head tonight, so I forgot.
When did that happen? I missed that.
It was during the Native American Heritage Night. Someone slapped one from across the atrium and right in the noggin.
I hope security took care of that. But anyway, the energy efficiency program can help find up to 35% energy savings.
Wow! What do businesses have to do that?
All they got to do is go to ComEd.com/biz and sign up for a free facility assessment. That's it.
So why aren't more businesses doing that?
Because just like you, they always forget the website.
Oh, yeah. It's ComEd.com/biz.
That's the one.
ComEd.com/biz. I'm trying to get it back in there. ComEd.com/biz.
Right.
All right. It's rattling around. It's in there somewhere.
And also rattling around are the terms and conditions that apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customers' energy uses and rate. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law, which is good. Everything should be in compliance with state law.
You would think so. By the way, we know who to blame for this game. Our buddy Windy City Hockey.
No gummy bears.
Shows up, sans gummy bears.
Yeah.
And it's a night where you know who, the Bear Fister, is walking around the press box.
I still
grabbing the gummy bears.
Risked it though. I still got me some. So if I'm sick tomorrow, we'll know.
We know why.
I've been Bergevin.
You've been Bergevin. I got some super chats to knock out here. Lebowski 5 says Dickinson would have 10 goals if he played with Bedard the whole season. Bedard was seeing the ice in a special way. That pass to Dickey in the slot was sick. Yeah. Yes, we're gonna have. By the way, Petey will be on tomorrow at 3, and the 2 goals tonight are what he's gonna break down. Go back and I know we're pissed, but go back and watch that second goal right before Bedard centers it to Dickinson. He looks off the defenseman just for a second, and he bites, and Bedard puts it right in front. It is a beautiful play. It's a peek of what's hopefully to come. Ralph J. says, need to sign more $4 million vets for, quote, leadership.
Yeah. Don't have enough.
No, need more. And Rooney says, who do we see first, the Groundhog or Kyle Davidson? I think it is time for the GM to speak.
Yeah. I mean, we see him all the time. He's at morning skates. He's at practices. But yeah, maybe.
I do know his wife is very, very close to giving birth.
Okay. So
understand life comes before hockey,
sure.
but
if
soon he will. Within the next week or two, he needs to speak.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think. Of course, after every loss this season, it's all fire Luke Richardson. And I said, beginning of the year, before the season started, if this team gets to the end of the season and they are below 60 points again and they had good health, then you got to have serious conversations. And right now they're on that pace. They're on that pace to be in the 50s again. And that's not good enough. So...
And who said it?
Kyle
Davidson said at the end of last year, this can't happen again.
So if it happens again, then yes, you move on. You don't give them the option and you roll on to wherever. But for everybody in here screaming and yelling, just fire him now, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
He's going to get the rest of the season to fix this because changing a coach now, I don't know what it saves. I mean, maybe they do something in season if this continues, and it's December. It's right before Christmas, and they still have 18 points.
Ugh.
Maybe, but listen, if this team doesn't turn it around and they finish 58 points, 62 points, yeah, they're likely going to make a change.
Yes, I think it's safe to say that if things continue, Luke Richardson will not be the coach next year. Now, could it happen? I truly believe that if things continue down this path, they might need to make a move in season just to salvage things. And maybe you just promote Kevin Dean or whoever you think.
Derek King.
No. Does that.
I want that to happen just to see the meltdown.
But Derek Plot, whatever. You put someone in an interim role.
Anders Sorensen.
Or Anders Sorensen comes up and finishes the season, whatever it might be.
Let him come up with all those IceHogs
Absolutely.
and finish out the season.
But I think we're not there yet. But
No.
I think starting tonight, I am no longer dismissing the fire Luke Richardson talk. I don't think it's going to happen. If it happened tomorrow morning, I would not bat an eye.
Neither would I. Neither would I. I still I like Luke Richardson.
I agree.
I think he's overall
something's not working.
He's a really good hockey mind, but for whatever reason, it's not clicking this season. This was a season where we said all summer he's got the most talent he's ever had here, and we're not seeing much of a difference.
It's worse.
But the worst part about that is it was trending in the right direction. You're 2 weeks away from a road trip where you beat Colorado, the Kings, and the Ducks. Could have went 5-0 on that road trip. You lost to the Stars, and had Nick Foligno not tipped Seth Jones' shot with 5 seconds to go, they would have got a point out of that game. And you lost that stupid, weird game to the Sharks that you had no business losing, but hockey, you're going to have 2 or 3 of those a year at least. And they came back from that road trip, and we were like, hey.
Doing good.
That was, 6 games ago?
Yep.
7 games ago?
But it's been.
And only 2 wins ago?
So bad.
It's not good.
5 straight games with 1 goal in regulation. Tonight is 2.
That's an improvement.
It's an 100%.
2 is more than 1.
They're 100% better.
That's why you're our math expert here.
Somebody in the chat brought up an interesting name. Tony Granato is right there.
Does he have the health though to do that?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
But yeah, Granato is there.
It was Steven, by the way. I want to give him credit.
He can bring his other former Badger that was in the.
Bring them all. Get Cammy up there. Get them all.
Bring in Chelios to be the assistant coach. The Meatballs would love that.
All the Granati and all the Chelii.
Yeah.
Bring them in.
All of them.
All right. Do we have Jason Dickinson ready to go? Why don't we fire that up before we get to Mario? Do us a favor before we do. Please hammer that like button for us. We're going to keep bothering you until you do. Damn it. Don't make me take my shoes off.
No, please don't.
Here is Big J Dick.
Well, how do you explain what happened?
They scored more. They stuck with it, and they were able to put the puck in. We had some chances. We created some good opportunities that we just didn't convert on. I'd love to see us put a couple more pucks in the net, obviously, and have a different looking third period. We worked hard to get there to that point, but we weren't able to find a way to finish.
Your teams have outscored the Hawks 24-15 in the third, now 26. It's got to be a common denominator.
Yeah, when you're losing games, you're probably going to get outscored in most periods, so it doesn't really matter whether it's the first, second, or third. We're getting outscored right now, period.
Is there anything in the third that you noticed changed this time around?
I don't think so. Didn't feel like they had many opportunities in the third. They just scored on a couple. I don't know the stats. I don't know what the analytics say, but it didn't feel like they were absolutely pouring it on in the third period like we were sitting back or anything. They scored a couple goals.
Can you talk about, the early success being on to Bedard's line and the chemistry. It looks like you guys have early chemistry already.
Yeah, I mean, the kid's a heck of a player. He can make those plays that seem like they're not there. So I try to find open ice for him. I try to just get inside his head and see what he's seeing. And fortunately enough, for a couple of goals, it connected.
It seemed like Richardson wanted kind of an opposite dynamic where you and Joey Anderson were setting him up, but it just didn't turn out the way.
Yeah, I don't think it matters for Joey and I. Whoever we play with, we just try to play a specific way where we just drive the play forward. We don't want to do too much east-west. We don't want to get too fancy with it. So it doesn't matter who's setting up who. The puck seems to follow Connor around, so it's probably going to be him that sets guys up a lot if he's not getting the shooting looks that he likes. So he commands a lot of play. He commands a lot of respect out there that somebody's probably going to be open.
What's the frustration level? Just that, I mean, you guys have been in almost all those games and just not to have many wins come out.
Yeah, definitely frustrating. Like you said, we've been in a lot of these games. We could easily be coming out of a lot of these with wins. It's easy to talk about it, easy to say that, well, shoulda, coulda, woulda, but at the end of the day, we got to go out and do it. We got to go out and win an extra battle, find an extra puck, find an extra greasy goal to put them on their heels a little bit more and not let them feel like they're in the game still.
He's on it. He's right. And everything
he said,
they
say this every time.
They're very well trained in the PR game. They know what to say. I'm not saying that he's rehearsed or anything like that.
He's got enough
We
practice
all know what they
saying
need
this.
to do. I just don't understand why it just, like, this team is fragile. Anytime something goes wrong, like when Anaheim scored that tying goal late in the first, I was like, here we go. This is going to crush them. This is going to be the thing that hurts. And yes, they went and scored 4 minutes into the second period, but like that's when everything started falling apart. It's any little setback, any little struggle just completely derails this team. When you bring in Foligno, Maroon, Martinez, Smith, Tavo, Bertuzzi, you are supposed to be insulated against that fragility. You're supposed to be protected from that because you've got guys, and Alex Vlasic said it yesterday, that, hey, the vibes are okay because these veterans are here and they've been through it and they help us kind of get through it, but like, do something on the ice to help. That's it. Like, the guys that you feel good about this year are the kids. Bedard's been struggling, but he's working his ass off every game, working his ass off every practice, trying to get better. Lucas Reichel was taking a step. The points aren't there. The production's not there, but he's playing with Smith and Maroon most nights.
Yeah.
Wyatt Kaiser has been solid. Alex Vlasic has been great. The rest of the crew, where are you at?
Those are the guys we weren't supposed to be worried about.
Exactly. They're the ones who are supposed to be guiding these young players along while they struggled and saying, hey, we got you. Hey, Connor, if you don't score for a couple games, Tavo says I got you. I'll pick up the slack. And by the way, a lot of revisionist history in the chat.
No.
About how Kyle Davidson did the wrong things. No one had any problems with any of these sightings aside from Brody this offseason.
Yeah, but again, let's look back at that class. Who else was there?
Gensel was the one.
But Gensel wasn't coming
He
here.
wasn't coming here. Why would he come here for this?
He went to Tampa.
Right.
Duh. Stamkos wasn't coming here.
Yes.
Marchessault wasn't coming here.
Right.
So of the guys that were willing to come here, he got the best of that group.
Yes.
Because you had to go shopping in the B tier.
Well, and I think
because no one in the A tier wanted to come here now.
And everyone thought it was a good idea to not invest huge money in super long term yet.
Right.
Maybe it's this summer. Maybe
which
it's
I
next
still
summer.
think is right.
It's correct.
Seeing what's going on with our prospects, with guys like Nazar and Doc and those guys, and some of these guys that were in college and still in juniors who are tearing it up. Like this season was never about playoffs. It was never about wins and losses.
It's about playing in meaningful games.
It was about being better and learning how to win while still having some stumbles down the line, and we're just not seeing that.
Yeah. All right, Mario is standing by from the UC. Got to hit the brakes, and we'll get your super chats before we bring Mario in. But first, Greg's going to tell you about Hrum.
Yes, and a Black Friday sales event that happens all month long. Every day is Black Friday at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram.
Hrum.
That means you can score huge Black Friday savings on your next vehicle the entire month of November. Don't let these deals pass you up. Stop in today and browse their huge inventory of new vehicles. And right now, shop savings like 0% financing available on all 2024 Jeep models. Or take a peek at 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. Let the amazing team at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, that's a lot, help you during each step of your car shopping journey. With Ray's Price Promise, the numbers you're hearing now are the same prices you can expect to shop in-store and online. That's because Ray's Price Promise means no price changing and no add-ons, no hidden fees. Since they prioritize affordability for their customers, hurry in the Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram today and shop one of Chicago's largest inventories, then drive home with a lot more money in your pocket than you were expecting. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle, then you have to check out the team at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, because they're the only team we recommend. Visit them today on Route 12 in Fox Lake. For more info, head over to raycdjr.com. They've been serving the community since 1963.
Oh, so close.
60 Ram.
So close. Hey, we are all worked up, and there is a bucket of Coors Light right in front of me.
Might be a little skunky.
Might be a little skunky. They are not real ice
and
cubes.
Those mountains are not blue.
Not to break kayfabe, but yes, those are not real ice cubes. But man, between all the things that stress us out in the world, we are always seeking times to choose chill. And when we do, there's no better accessory than a nice cold Coors Light. Reach for a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment, after all. You know that by now. When those mountains are blue, unlike our Coors Lights right in front of us, it's as cold as the Rockies. So when you embrace a chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. Oh, there it is. That sounds cold. Make the most out of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO Hockey. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Before we get to Mario, let's knock out these super chats real quick. I'm going to just rifle through them. TD Burns says, would goal Gutman flanked by Bedard and Bertuzzi with Vlasic and whoever backing them, will that be more fun than what we've seen so far?
No.
I'm good with, Cole Gutman's
is not an NHL player.
He's not. Maybe he can score more than these guys, but
if he was, he'd be here. He is slow and doesn't play defense. We've got too many of those guys on this roster.
This team plays defense. I'll give him that. Okay. Adrian says, put Mikheyev on waivers. Bring up Nazar. What's the point of letting him tear up the minors?
I'm with you on the second point.
Mikheyev's been fine.
Not. I want some more offense from Mikheyev.
Join the club, right?
He is far from the worst player on this team.
Marcus says a top 3 pick and a top UFA winger this offseason. That would be great.
Cool.
That's where it's headed. All right, let's go out to the United Center. Oh, did we lose Mario? Oh, we got to find Mario. He's hiding. He'll be here in a second. We're waiting for Mario. While we're waiting for Mario, hit that like button for us. By the way, again, tomorrow we're going to have Steve Peters on the show. And some special stuff coming up later this week.
Yeah. We've got confirmation on, well, no, never mind. No confirmation.
All right, no confirmation.
Because we're confirming for a day we don't have a show, so scratch that. Still
right,
working on an ice hog. There's going to be an ice hog on the show one of these days.
Yeah. Segment called Show Me Your Hog by Blue Chew. All right, let's bring in Mario, who is standing by at the United Center. Mario, did they say the right things and say they need to compete harder and win puck battles and get the puck in deep and shoot the puck?
What do you think?
Yes.
You're correct.
All right. Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it is more of the same. It's not winning puck battles. It's not winning board battles. It's not taking advantage of the chances that you get and not being able to let those small things, not allowing them to snowball in the wrong direction. And, like you guys mentioned, like they gave up the goal in the final minute or at the 1 minute mark of the first period. Sure, you go into the end of the period tied. It stinks. You get the second goal in the second period. You have a 2-1 lead going into the third, but you're just not able to stop the momentum of the snowball going down the hill that the Anaheim Ducks created against you. They allow the tying goal. They get the 3-2 goal off of they kill the penalty, and then they can't get the puck out of their own zone, and then you get the goal about a minute after the penalty's killed because you're still hemmed in your zone. Like it's things we've seen far too often this season, and I really don't know where you go from here. You want to fire Luke Richardson? Sure. I don't know what coach is coming in and shaking the dust off this team and changing things up, because there's no magic like X's and O's scheme that's going to change the way this team's playing. You want to change up the players, you want to change up the lines, you want to change up the pairs. You got to do something, and I'm getting extremely, extremely frustrated that the players that we're not supposed to like worry about are the ones that you're just like pulling your hair out over, because we expect better, we've seen better, and it's just not there. Like they literally cannot string together consistent efforts. And we say like, oh, we want to see a 60-minute effort. It's almost virtually impossible to dominate a game for 60 straight minutes. But what this team needs to do is play more than 20 minutes of good hockey in a game. Have 30 to 40 minutes of good hockey. It doesn't even have to be strung together consecutively. Have a good first and a good first and a good third tonight wins you the game. And there's been 2 or 3 games this season where I'd say that for 2 of the 3 periods, the Blackhawks were like significantly better. They weren't just kind of hanging on or trying to bend, don't break or whatever this season. Like, it's just getting extremely frustrating. And I don't know where you turn.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it earlier. We are kind of qualifying it with saying we don't expect it to happen because he's out of contract at the end of this year. There's an option for Luke Richardson, and if they don't think he's the guy, they just won't bring him back. But I said if they fire him tonight, I would not bat an eye, because, look, I don't think that Luke is to blame, to be clear. I really don't. I think that what we've seen from him this last week has not been great. These lines sort of smack of desperation, but guess what? They're desperate. 5 straight games with 1 regulation goal is not good, and you got to try stuff. That I think he botched the Taylor Hall thing. Did he own it? Yes, but now he's kind of got to regrow trust with Taylor Hall and with the other veterans. Like, there have been some things here or there, but again, it's not his fault. But at some point, you have to make a change for the sake of change, because there's going to be guys looking around that room like, we just lost again in the same damn way, and unfortunately they're not going to look inward. Like, we lose sight of the fact that these are young men. Like, I think Alec Martinez is like this old white. He's 10 years younger than me.
Yeah, but you're old as balls.
Well, I know, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not like, we see these guys and they've been playing forever. Yeah. They don't. The veterans don't have the maturity to be like, you know what? I'm not doing well enough.
Well, they should. I mean, the guys like that have been they're old for hockey players, and they've been in championship winning rooms. They've been part of cultures where losing is unacceptable. Yeah. Like, I hate to quote Shorzy, but this team does not hate to lose.
Yeah, Tim with a good comment says, the Hawks team needs an identity, and we're not there yet.
Well, they have an identity. It's not a good one.
The identity should be when you bring in all the guys I listed: Martinez, Brody, Teravainen, Bertuzzi, Maroon, Smith. All these players had a reputation for hard work, working their ass off, grinding away. This team, while they defend pretty well, I don't see balls to the wall effort for 60 minutes every night. We saw that in Luke Richardson's first year. We saw it. We've not seen it since then. And that needs to be, when you are out talented every night, the qualifier is, the difference maker is, you go and outwork the opponent. That's it. That's because that's the one tool in your bag. And then you add Connor Bedard to that, and then you've got some star power. And you should be able to, he'll get his points. The rest of the guys will grind it out, and they're going to kick your ass, and you're going to feel it every time you play the Hawks. Teams are walking in here like 2 points. That's it. You just lost to the Anaheim Ducks. And the last time you played them, you beat them, but gave up 40 shots to the Anaheim Ducks.
Yep. Yeah, I the identity of this team, you're right. It's got to be that no one's going to outwork us. And you know what? That is what we've heard from multiple players on this team, from Nick Foligno, from Luke Richardson himself. Kyle Davidson and Luke Richardson both have been lockstep since they both took over their respective positions in saying that the team identity that they want to play is fast and no one's going to outwork us. Now, the rosters haven't reflected the speed that they want, but a lot of that is in the young guys that are coming up. But the work ethic and the tenacity, like that is something that this team seems to lack. Like it's when you're talking about consistently, having to being the second guy to a puck, losing stick battles, losing board battles, losing one-on-one efforts. Like that's not coaching. That's individual effort. That's individual strength, desire, determination. Like that's something that's internal in yourself. Some guys have it. Some guys on this team are doing that. I think, there's a few guys on this team that I'd find it hard to really pick apart their game, but I think the majority of them, there's so many nights where you're just like, didn't get to that puck, or really wish, you had an extra step there, or I just, it's too much. There's not enough guys on this roster that you can rely on night to night to say, yep, I can trust their effort. I can trust their game. I can trust their skill. They don't have enough of those guys right now.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. You know what I forgot to do? Not doing my job. I didn't talk about the 4 stars yet.
Oh,
we've been too frustrated.
Right. We're doing that.
Get your votes in. The 3 stars of the game: Bedard with 2 assists, Kaloran with a goal and an assist, Dickinson with 2 goals. Your 4-star candidates are Arvid Soderblom, top 21 to 23 shots. Alex Vlasic, 25-36, a shot, 3 shot attempts, 2 takeaways, and 3 block shots. A couple really nice offensive rushes as well. And Joey Anderson with 4 shots, 6 shot attempts, and 2 takeaways. So get your vote in.
First line winger, Joey Anderson, sir.
You're right.
Our guy's way ahead. So
okay, that's good. Our guy being Alex Vlasic. If you missed yesterday's show, he's part of our show now.
He's our new guy.
We have
Our
claimed
new guy.
him.
Yes.
He did 1 show on CHGO, and they're already talking about him going to be on Team USA for the 4 Nations face-offs. You're welcome, Alex.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Little pat on the back for ourselves on that one. All right. Well, Mario, we're going to, why don't we let's do Who's Your Hawk now, man.
Sure.
We'll play Luke Richardson on the
That'll
other
take
side of the
4
break.
seconds.
Who is the big winner tonight?
Well, it's Joey freaking Anderson with 4 points.
Here, Mario, I'm throwing it to you.
Tervo Teravainen, 2 points. Taylor Hall. Yeah, so much for that. I got scratched and I'm hungry bump. Yeah, so there you go. Some more amazing scores on our Who's Your Hawk.
Hey, but our plan were to not
that did work. We can't
pick Bedard.
We can't pick Bedard. Apparently when we do, he stinks, and when we don't, you get 2 assists. But he needed 3.
I'm glad that I didn't back down from Greg's bullying.
Yes, I bullied you right into a win. You're welcome.
There you go.
I need to start bullying myself into some wins there. I got to fire my coach. I got to bring in Jim Montgomery.
That'll work.
There you go.
That's definitely going to do it. All right,
got
Mario.
He's got nothing to do
Why don't
these
we
days.
let's let Mario go? He's done enough work for the day. We'll let you go. Congrats on your big Hoosier Hawk win. We're gonna hear from Luke Richardson next. So thanks, Mario. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 2:30.
Sweet. See you guys tomorrow.
All right, that is Mario Tirabassi from the United Center. Make sure you're following him on Twitter at Mario_Tirabassi. And he's on Blue Sky, but I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure exactly how to give those things. So
shouldn't
just look at Mario Tirabassi. He'll be there. We'll do it. All right, back with Luke Richardson after the break here on CHGO Blackhawks. And first impressions are important, but what about lasting impressions? That's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew helps you boost your confidence in the bedroom so you can stay firm and perform at your very best.
Like a Rockford IceHog.
Yeah, exactly. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in a chewable form. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. Does it work? Do you think you need it? Try it free for a month and see. You're going to love it. Your partner's really going to love it, and we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code ALLCITY at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code ALLCITY to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
And if you don't want to take that free month offer, but you still want that same effect, I know bacon wrapped chicken it's exciting as well.
That's very exciting.
And that's our pals over at Family Farms. Their culinary journey is woven with passion, dedication, and a commitment to crafting the finest bacon wrapped chicken, a timeless delicacy that has tantalized taste buds since 1974. Join them on this flavorful adventure where every bite tells a story of tradition, quality, and the enduring spirit of Family Farms, because that's what I think about when I'm eating it. The tradition continues. Now you can find Family Farms bacon wrapped chicken even easier. Look for them in the meat department at your local Woodman's, Mariano's, or Burkott's. Craving a taste of home without leaving yours? Check out baconwrappedchicken.com or click on the link for their Amazon store, which also includes the legendary Rocky Rococo's Italian sausage, and to find out where their new amazing Cajun Nation flavors will become available in an authentic Louisiana bite. So experience the flavor that's become a family favorite for generations. Visit your nearest Woodman's, Mariano's, or Brickhots, or on Amazon, baconwrappedchicken.com, also chewable.
Yes. And Lebowski5 says bacon wrapped chicken sounds fantastic. I can confirm.
Bacon wrapped anything is okay.
Pretty much.
Like
bacon wrapped cigarette ash.
Sure. I mean, wouldn't be my first choice, but if it was some of Charlie's bacon, I'm in.
Of course. All right, why don't we hear from Blackhawks head coach Luke Richardson. We'll hear what he had to say after this game, see if there's anything new, anything we haven't heard before. Kind of feel for the guy. I mean, what are you going to say? But here he is, Luke Richardson.
Errors of omission or commission?
Well, I think, it's just a lack of execution, I think, on little plays. And that's what I talked about this morning, the one little play in each game that's kind of hurting us. And, we kill off a penalty, but we can't kill the play and get it out of the zone. So really, it's still a result of kind of being shorthanded. And, we have to find a way to end that. You have to find the inner strength and be strong. Like I just thought our stick battles weren't good enough tonight. And, part of that is going through the stick and then maybe going through the man a little bit more. I thought they did a better job of that than us tonight. So kind of caught up with us on a few of those goals in the third period. We like to kind of squeeze those line rushes against on the winning goal, with maybe a harder track and our D's being able to stay up above the blue line so they don't get in and have time to make that play. And then we got to just be strong and can never win on the backside. But once they get in and they have time, things happen. So, it's never the same thing. So it's something that it's hard to correct. It's always something different, but we have to find a harder inner strength. I think it started in the second period. We started getting a little scrambly, icing pucks. and it kind of festers and compounds, and then I thought we started okay in the third period, but just a couple of lost battles. They're in the net, and these guys played well lately, so we expected that, but we wanted to press harder. It would have been nice not to give up a goal in the last minute of the first period and go in the second period up 1-0, and then you maybe have a chance to build on that because we had a really nice second goal and be up 2-0. I think that would make a big difference. But you have to play the game. It's 60 minutes and react to what happens out there.
You have the 2 goals, and it seemed like the offense was clicking more. And then, where didn't you get that pushback, or where offensively did it maybe take them taking the?
Yeah, I think in the second half of the period when we start icing the puck, or the second half of the game, we started icing pucks and started throwing it away and stopped using our legs and just advancing pucks like we did mostly in the first period. I think they found momentum out of that, and I think then we're not really playing on our toes like we were the first half of the game. And this league, it's no good when the team's coming in on a 2-game winning streak on the road, playing with confidence, even though they're tired. I think we lose that edge when we start playing a little bit erratic and a little bit jumpy and throwing pucks down the ice when we got to make stronger plays.
You talk about playing stronger plays and harder and playing through guys and stuff. What's your disappointment level in the sense that they're coming in here after playing last night back to back, and they're doing a better job of that, like you just said, in the last part of the game compared to your guys who maybe should have been more fresh than that?
Yeah, no, it's very similar to us going in there last time, playing the night before and having to come off from behind and being tired. And I think what it is you find momentum, and then it doesn't really matter who's tired. I think if we give up the momentum that we had, which we did, they found some strength in that, and it doesn't matter. Yesterday's yesterday, and it's the NHL, and everybody plays back to back, so they found some strength out of that and momentum.
Did you like the way the new lines you had worked out?
I thought we had some really good moments as a whole group, as a team. Obviously, I thought Connor and Dickinson found each other really nice, and Joey always does some great responsibility work, with whoever he plays with. So it really worked out, and it clicked a few times tonight. I thought all the lines in the first period probably created something, but then the rest of the way, we had probably a limited amount of real good scoring chances, which I liked in the first, and then it's disappointing not to create enough. But when you're icing pucks and you gave up the momentum and you're in your own zone way too much, and we couldn't kill the plays, it's hard to create the offense.
Bertuzzi didn't play much in the third. Was there something you didn't see? Or?
Just I thought that line just had a couple. Didn't get it in really in the second, and but I just went with the other lines seemed to have a little bit more going, and they were cued in if there was a change to get out there 6-on-5, the next group to go, all 3 of those guys. So it would have been tough sitting there, but at least they would have had some energy, and unfortunately we just didn't get to that point.
What did you see on that third goal?
Third goal, the winning goal, I think we got to be more aggressive with the blue line and squeeze that and not let them get in. And then when Killorn pulls up, he's got 2 or 3 seconds to find people, and he just like a nice CNI ball pass to the back door, which we got to try and lock off. But I think it could be killed before that. I think we need to be more aggressive. If we're having trouble at times to be killing plays in the D zone, then we got to be more aggressive before we get there.
The Hawks have been outscored 24-15 entering this game. I think it's now 26-15. Is there some common denominator?
You mean like overall?
Yeah. Just because it just kind of stands out among the peers as like the biggest discrepancy in the third period.
Yeah, no, I don't know. We've had good games in the third period where we're coming from behind and we're already behind. So I like some of our pushback then, but yeah, definitely. When we have the lead, I think that's something that we got to make sure that we lock down, especially at home. And we talked good things on the bench and in between periods. We just didn't execute it well enough in the third period. So it's something to maybe we obviously pay attention to it and talk about it, but how do we fix it? The only way we can do it is the next game and do a better job at it. So when it starts to compound more and more, it'll become an issue, but it's an issue that we've brought to attention in the past and even tonight, and we wanted to be hard in the third period, and I just think you know, I mean, we just weren't hard enough, not as desperate as that team, and I think that's where we got to take a lesson of that and put it into the next game, because it's going to be even a harder game.
I know you wanted Bedard to be more of a shooter, but it turned out the way this game unfolded, he's more of a playmaker. Was that the way you envisioned it, or did you have any?
Well, we know he can make those plays, obviously, and I think the other guys read off him well, and they got open. You know, I mean, I think at the end of the game, he had a couple shots, and he tried to shoot it on the fly. I mean, I think he hit one guy, went down right on the shoulder, and it just unfortunately didn't get to the net 6-on-5. So, you know, we didn't have, again, much time on the power play, so, you know, we're not going to see it there because we didn't have much opportunity, but you know, I think that's still the thing. I think a guy like that can shoot like that, we'll still always ask him to shoot more, even though he makes good plays. And I think one will work with the other well.
All right, that's Luke Richardson, again, saying the things you want him to say. And he was, you know, somewhat critical in there, saying losing stick battles and letting the game get away from you and all those sort of things. But I don't know. I don't subscribe to the you got to flip over the body armor table these days, and like I just think that's kind of the last straw for a coach before they get fired. I don't know. This is just it just feels like this is what it is right now, and that's why I think we're all advocating for somebody from Rockford to come up and inject some life into this lineup.
Like it's like when you're cooking and you're trying a recipe for the first time, you throw in what they tell you need into the crock pot, into the slow cooker. You take that first spoonful, you're like, nah, I don't like that. You add a little more salt. Nah, I still don't like that. So you add some more pepper or whatever. They need some seasoning here.
Yeah.
Because this is bland as hell.
Yes.
This
definitely.
is like
it's the same game
this is like
night.
raisins in the potato salad. Gross right now. You need you need some Frank's hot sauce, something. As in Nazar, you need something.
See? You need Frank's hot sauce.
You've got to add something to the pot because this recipe is not working. We should know this by now. This is a conclusion. This isn't a theory. We've had enough of a sample to know that this particular group is not going to get the job done. So add something to the mix.
Look, and I get that you want to be patient and you want to develop, but I also think you don't have a blueprint for development. Every player is different. Every player needs a different amount of time, right? Like Kevin Korchinski and Alex Vlasic and Wyatt Kaiser are not going to develop at the same pace in Rockford. Frank Nazar shouldn't spend a year in Rockford just because.
Not if this team up here can't score.
Yes, and if you call him up and he needs to go back down,
if the Hawks had 22 points and we're scoring over 3 goals a game, then you let them cook down there as long as it takes.
You don't leave him down there just for the sake of it.
No. Not when this team needs scoring. That's malpractice by a general manager to do that.
I agree with you. And I get it. Like in Windy City Hockey, our pal, even though no Gummy Bear
He's not
says
our pal anymore.
Nazar, Slaggert, and Doc, please. If it's
one of them.
One of them.
One of them right now.
I would say not Slaggert. And I love Slaggert. Notre Dame, go Irish, all that stuff. But like, that's not what they've got. Slaggerts.
But they've got slaggers who just don't seem to care right now.
Give me
a Slaggert that cares.
Guys that can put the puck in the net. That's what I want.
Slaggert plays the exact type of hockey that Luke's been begging this team to play all season long.
Yes, they are.
Doc's too, and Doc's been scoring. So, you know,
by the way,
it's time to bring somebody up.
And making these moves, like, it also injects some life into the team because the team is feeling frustrated too. Like, man, we just can't figure this out. Like, we got to figure something out. Like, all right, Frank Nazar got recalled. Hell yeah, those guys are going to be fired up about that.
And it's going to bring in inject some excitement into the fan base too.
Yes,
that half can't even see the games.
That's a different thing.
And those who can see the games wish they couldn't see the games.
Yes.
Like it injects some life and excitement into everybody. There'll be some energy in the building. When he gets on the ice for that first shift and touches the puck, there'll be some excitement. There'll be something else there besides hope you see Connor Bedard do something fun.
Right.
Like he did tonight.
Yes.
With that assist. The second is the first one was good. second one was great.
Oh,
We'll have our pal PD on tomorrow to break those down. Can't wait for that.
yeah, we are going to wrap up the televised portion of our show. If you're on YouTube, on the podcast, we got a few minutes left. We got to reveal the 4-star of the game. And I got a potentially unpopular thought on Tyler Bertuzzi. So stick around if you're on the traditional outlets. And if you're not, jump over to YouTube and check us out. But we want to tell you about our Die Hard program here at CHGO Sports. That QR code is right there on your screen. Why not pull out your phone and scan that QR code and find out how to become a diehard. You get a free shirt or hat upon sign up. You get 20% off all of our merch across the company, across the ALLCITY brand, 20% off all of our events, takeovers, tailgates, all that great stuff, and access to all of our great written content, Blackhawks Beat, Pigs and Puck, the Rebuild Report, Morning Chirps, all the great diehard stuff with every team, not just the Hawks. Every team's got it. You get access to all of it. So become a diehard today. AllCHGO.com is the place to do it. All right, before we get to this Tyler Bertuzzi thought, let's reveal the winner of the 4-star of the game. It is... Waiting for it.
The giant rising head of...
CHGO's very own Alex Vlasic. Pointed us, his teammates.
Saying, hey, thanks for having me on the show, guys.
You're welcome. He is the winner. Good game for him. 25-36, a shot, 3 shot attempts, 2 takeaways, 3 block shots. Again, another day at the office for Alex Vlasic. Boy, I loved his confidence with the puck on that Hawks power play. Waiting for that slingshot pass, and Alex Vlasic's like, F it, I'm just taking it. And was that the play, too, where he dropped it to Bedard at the blue line and it was barely offsides?
Yeah.
That was the same play, right?
And he had that shorthanded rush.
Yes.
Like, when he wants to activate, he can get the job done.
Dude, if that had gotten there, and I was sort of like, don't blow that dead. See what happens. Then if they score, then review it or whatever.
They weren't going to score.
I didn't think, I didn't think that it was, I didn't think it was definitively offsides.
Yeah.
But I was really wishing to see what that would have created. But he was great and totally deserves it. If you missed Monday's show, go back. We talked to Alex Vlasic for 45 minutes. It was great. We learned new stuff. He's really good. I can't wait to see what the rest of our appearances have. We have 10 appearances with him this year. So lots of Alex Vlasic on this show. So hope you appreciate that. All right, my thought on Bertuzzi, and I've said this on shows prior, but I just want to make sure that I state it. It is very true that he, among many, many others, is not producing at a high rate. However, when you bring in Tyler Bertuzzi, you're bringing him in to be a nuisance in front of the net, to be a guy who stands in front of the goalie, causes havoc, pisses off the goalie, redirects a pass, tips a goal in. When you never have the puck and you never cycle the puck and you never have the opportunity for him to plant his ass in front of the goalie, he's not going to be effective. You could probably say the same for Pat Maroon. Pat Maroon's in the same boat. He's just bigger and slower at this point in his career, but that's why he's here.
But he had that one pass to Connor Bedard in that one game.
He did. But those guys don't have value if the team you're on they're not rush players.
No.
And Dino Ciccarelli sucks. The goat of net front play.
He had some problems
would
with that
be
too.
ineffective on this team.
How did this robe fall open?
But he would be ineffective. The better of the Bertuzzis, Todd Bertuzzi, would be ineffective on this team because they're not players who create off the rush.
You can't have net front present when you don't have the puck, or when you do have the puck, you don't shoot the puck.
So while we're all freaking out about 4 more years of Tyler Bertuzzi, as this team gets better, and they will, I know it's frustrating now, but anyone who's like, would you rather be the Hawks or the Penguins right now? The answer is very clearly the Hawks.
The Blackhawks.
Yes.
Blackhawks have a future.
Yes.
It's not set in stone that it's going to be good or great, but at least it'll
be better than this.
There's something to look forward to, where the Penguins are where the Hawks were 3 years ago when the Hawks decided to blow it up. But they're just like, nope, we got to keep this together.
Yes.
We got to keep this together, and they're going to be bad for a long, long time with no hope. At least the Blackhawks have some hope.
I mean, I mentioned it the other day. Bertuzzi played the most common line for last year's Maple Leafs. That team could score was him, Nylander, and Tavares.
Yeah, because you had John Tavares, veteran center, two-way guy.
Winning a crap ton of faceoffs.
And you had William Nylander, who can drive an offense and create on his own. So Bertuzzi just had to play a simple game. John Tavares shoots a lot of pucks. William Nylander shoots a lot of pucks. Who's he playing on a line with when nobody shoots? You can't do your job.
So Bertuzzi his value will appear when the team gets the puck more. That's it. Look, I'm not trying to sugarcoat the way he's playing, but the reality is, for him to be effective, they have to have the puck, which is why he's been the most. When you see him look better, it's usually on the power play or usually with the empty net, and he's in front causing havoc because the team has the puck.
Look at when he's scored.
Yes.
2 power play goals, the 6-on-5 goal.
Right. That's when he's effective. So just keep that in mind as we, and again, I'm not the biggest Tyler Bertuzzi defender in the world, but I just think that some context there is a little bit needed.
He's there. You're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole with him right now.
Right. Exactly. All right, we're going to wrap things up. We still have a lot of people watching and not a lot of likes. So we have a lot of likes. I don't want to say that, but let's get some more. Hit that like button for us before we sign off. And remember, tomorrow, 2:30 show, we're going to talk to Petey. I'm not sure if he's at 2:30 or 3, but he's going to give us a great video breakdown of both Blackhawks goals tonight.
I did want to mention before we head out, if we got any, I know we have a bunch. If we got any pro wrestling fans watching,
yes,
head over to the YouTube page. Big Dave of CHGO Bulls and I interviewed AEW owner and president Tony Khan right here in studio today. Gave us a great 20-minute interview about AEW wrestling. The first official episode of CHGO Wrestling. There's going to be a lot more stuff.
It's amazing.
Including a live watch-along for the Survivor Series coming up. But there's going to be more stuff. Another AEW star, Ricochet, is going to be visiting us next week. We're going to be able to talk to him too. So you pro wrestling fans, we've been listening to you, and we want to bring you some more content on that in its own world. And now we have that. So check it out on the YouTube page.
All right. By the way, aside from PD, Hawks practice tomorrow. So we'll see what the new lines look like. We'll hear what Luke has to say.
Keep the lines the effing same. Like, just
roll
with this butt. It wasn't as bad as a lot said. Don't tinkle. Don't tinkle. Don't. You can tinkle if you wanna.
A lot of slips today.
Don't. Yeah. Well, it's late. It's been a long day. I've been out of my house since 8:45 this morning. I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
Just let it be. Let these lines go for the next couple games.
Yeah. Let's see how they fare against the Panthers.
Not great, Bob.
All right. Well,
that's gonna be the game they win, though.
Of course,
that will be the game they win. 3-1.
Oh boy. All right. We'll talk to everybody tomorrow at 2:30. We love you. Thanks for being here. Talk to you tomorrow on a CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the man.